Hi everyone, it's me Mandala. I'm coming back with a second video. In the first video, I talk about the function of English syntax and why we need to learn English syntax. So just as a reminder for you that English syntax functions as a way for us to generate and to discover rules in a language from various types of sentences. Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about where sentences start from. So sentences originate from words, and then words combined together, they become phrases, and phrases becoming clauses, and clauses becoming sentences finally. I'll start with the very basic one. We have words. Words are classified into some categories. Some of the categories that we know include verbs, adjectives, nouns, and also adverbs. But is that all? Possibly we have more. But the question is, how do we classify words? Words are classified into those groups based on three criteria. The first one is the meaning. Okay, so when we see a noun, we think that a noun refers to an entity or an individual. Okay, a verb is an action, but the meaning itself doesn't actually represent the whole thing about a noun. We also have to see from the morphological form whether it can be added with s, es, ed, ing, and so many other kinds of prefixes or suffixes. Okay, and the last one is syntactic function. Syntactic means the position where the words are put in a sentence. For example, if you can start a sentence with a word, then most likely the word itself that you use to start a sentence is a noun. Or in some cases, you can use ing too. Afterwards, we have phrases. Phrases are combinations of words that have one head and some modifiers. The head itself is the main the word that where the main meaning of the phrase lies. For example, I have a big bag. A, big, and bag is called a phrase. But which one has the core meaning? The core meaning lies in the word bag. Therefore, because the head is a bag and it's a noun, we call that the bag itself is a head. A and big function as modifiers. Now, how many kinds of phrases do we have in English? We have noun phrases, for example, like the one I mentioned, a big bag. Adjective phrases, for example, we have very beautiful. So it's about being beautiful. Third one, we have verbal phrases, verb phrases. For example, can work. It's about working. We have adverbial phrases. For example, very near, very far away. Okay. And then the last one, we have prepositional phrases. So prepositional phrases are like on the book, inside the bag, and so on. After phrases, we have clauses. Clauses consist of two. We have independent clauses and then dependent clauses. Sometimes independent clauses are called as main clauses and dependent clauses are called as subordinate clauses. The structure of independent clauses are like subject and predicate. Okay, for example, we have I work, I and work together. Now, independent clauses can sometimes also be called as sentences because they're independent. That means they can stand by itself and can function as sentences, the bigger one. Dependent clauses don't start with a subject. They start with a conjunction, subject, and then predicate. Okay? For example, when you play football. When you play football. So when is a conjunction, you is a subject, play is a predicate. So we have two kinds, independent clause and also dependent clauses, or we can call this one main clause or subordinate clause. Now, what's the difference between clauses and sentences? Sentences have three definitions. Number one, it is never dependent clauses. So you cannot make a sentence by saying, when you play football, full stop. No. Okay? A sentence doesn't consist of a dependent clause. That's number one. Number two, a sentence is an independent clause. So if you say I work, it's an independent clause as well as a sentence. Okay, that's the second definition. The third definition is it's a combination of independent clause and dependent clause. So if you combine those two clauses that I had before, we have I work when you play football, and then you put a full stop. The combination of both clauses can serve as a sentence. Okay, I hope it is clear that we know the structures of sentences now. We know where sentences originate from now. I hope you understand it, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you.